Welcome back, 7th grade scholars. It's that time once again for Math at Terry's house. So today we're going to continue our work on translations. First, here's your solutions from your independent practice from our last session. Please take a moment to check your work and see if you can identify if there were any errors made. Go ahead and pause the video so that you can do that now. Once you're done, come back and join us. Our objective, given a pre-image in the coordinate plane, I will be able to identify the coordinates of the image of a right triangle or rectangle that has been translated either vertically, horizontally, or a combination of a vertical and horizontal translation. I will be able to sketch the image of a right triangle or rectangle that has been translated vertically, horizontally, or a combination of both. As usual, you will need your notebook, you will need a pencil, and if you have some colored pencils, you can have those out and available as well. So we're going to look at a quick video on writing translation rules.
This time I want to write the rule that would result in I want to write the translation rule that would result in sliding this figure to form the image that's shown. So it tells me that the image and the pre-image, it tells me what color they are, but suppose I didn't have, it didn't tell me. Suppose I didn't have colors to look at, or like on your notes they're black and white, so I don't know which one's which. Well, the other way that we can tell that the red one is the image, the final location, is I have those prime tick marks with it as A prime, B prime, C prime. So I know that's where I'm going to end up, meaning the one without the primes, the blue one in this case, is going to be the original one. Well, that matters because I want to know which way this figure is sliding. So let's, we don't need to try to match up all the points, just matching up one of the points should be enough. Let's just do A, for example. So I know that I want to start from A and end up at A prime, which means I've translated the figure in that direction left first, and then I also have translated this up. So I want to make sure that I know which way I'm moving, because if we had done this backwards, maybe I didn't recognize where the primes were. The arrows would be pointing the other way, and I may be thinking incorrectly. I want to shift this to the right. That's not the case. I definitely want to shift it to the left. So actually, let me go ahead and count these spaces. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the left. I'm going to just make a note of that down here. So I've moved to the left 4. And then also to end up where I want to end up at the prime location, I also have to move up 1. Well, that's a great rule. I mean, that is the rule. However, I want to express this mathematically. So left 4, up 1 will help me express the rule, but that's not going to be the rule itself. So if I want to move to the left, that's going to be our x direction. And since I'm moving backwards in the x direction, I want to make sure that my rule is x minus 4 in order to shift this backwards. The up part of this is going to be your y direction. And since I'm moving up and not down, I want to make sure I'm adding, so that should be the rule that I want to use to end up at the image shown, x minus 4 and y plus 1.
Hopefully the light bulb is still on, because we don't never turn off our learning. So we have been talking about just kind of translations mathematically, just doing the movements and the slides over the last few sessions. So we're going to do something just a little different today, and we're going to do an activity. I'm going to start the activity with you, and then you're going to do it on your own independently. The information is found in your learning plan. So once we have finished our video together, you will go to your learning plan, or you can just put in the web address, and then you can plug in your class code so that you can do your work independently. Go ahead and put in our class code. That's already in there, and I'm going to hit join. So we're going to continue without signing in. I'm going to go ahead and put my name there. I'm just going to put my last name, Terry, and hit go. All right, finish loading. It looks like this. We're going to go through maybe, I think the first, maybe 5 questions. And as you can see, there are 16. But all of them aren't just questions. Some of these are things you have to do. And I want to make sure you know how to do them before you do them on your own. So what are the similarities and differences in the two triangles? Pause the video and jot down some of your ideas while I type in some ideas. And I just want to be able to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go here where it says type the math, and I'm going to type in a few ideas. So what do I see here? You pause it while I type. No one. So I just put in a couple. They're put there congruent. They're in different places because they have been translated. You can just whatever you want to put in there that makes sense about the similarities and of course the differences. Right, then you're going to just hit share with class. So I'm just going to hit share with class and I can see that right here. This is what I have. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit next. So this one says, and we're going to do this one together. The green triangle is the pre-image, and I want you to write that down. And that the red triangle is the red image. Pre-image means what? Exactly, our original. And the red is the image. So that's the translated figure. Throughout this lesson, the red is always going to be your translated image. So if I'm looking at this has been translated. Can you tell me where, how far? I can just do just like we've been doing all week. But I want you to pay close attention to your intervals along your X and your Y axis. Pay close attention in each and every problem that you do. Because I can look and I can easily say, well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, not going by ones. So I have to figure out what my intervals are going to be before you start writing out the rule or where your new order pairs are going to be located, or your points will be located. So this will be, I know between this one it's 1, 2, 3, but I have this half step. Yes, half step, 0.5. So 5/10 are going to go there. So these are not in just ones intervals, and you have to pay attention to that, okay? So that's one of the things I want to make sure I show you. Well, let's go ahead to our next problem. Next. And sometimes it's a little slow, so just bear with it for a minute. So there we go. Here's our next problem. Describe in your own words the changes between the pre-image and the image. The changes between the pre-image and the image. Now, which one is the pre-image? You guessed it. So this one is like a bluish, purplish color. And of course, remember what I just said earlier, that the red is always your image, okay? So what are some of the changes? Again, you want to take the time and you're going to type your solutions there. So whatever your answer is going to be or whatever you want to state in your own words, you're going to place there, all right? Then I'm going to go ahead to the next one. Create a translation to the right and up 3. So this is where we're going to kind of sketch it, but we're going to place the points. So I want to make sure I show you how to place the points in here. Again, what are we going to pay close attention to? Yes, you guessed it. We're going to pay attention to the intervals that are on our axis. So we have, I'm going to go vertically this time. So I'm like, that's 5. So now I have to decide what's between these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this case, they're going by ones. So I can easily be able to determine my translation. So I can just pick whichever point I choose, just like it said, but I'm going to go to the right. That's what's going to be important. Make sure you go the right direction. So I'm going to go to the right and you can just watch me as I move. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I can't stop there. Why? Because it says go up 3. 1, 2, 3. So once I am here, I want to be able to say, where is this located in on my coordinate grid? So this point here, and I can go ahead and I can place a point there, but I can't just, it won't let me click it. It won't do it. What is happening? It just won't do anything. I have to actually place my point over here in the other side. So I want to make sure I pay attention to that. So where is my point now? So I'm going to look down, and if you can see, it's here, and then it was up there. So that is 3, 9. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to actually place it in parentheses, 3 and 9. And I'm going to close it, because if I don't, it won't do anything. So now my point is here. So let me check it just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And it's up. There is my point. So I'm going to do that for each one. Okay. Once I've done my first one, I see my point. All I have to do is click the next one or hit enter. So I'm going to go ahead and place the other ones there because I've already done it. Close it. Then I'm going to hit enter. So the next one will come up. 3. There we have our triangle. So this will be our image right here. So this will be our image. And I can always, again, want to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. So that's the way you're going to do that. I want you to make sure you pay attention how you place them in your answers over here to your left and where your points will be located here. Okay. Great job. All right. So this one is just a little bit different. And again, this one, paying attention. First thing I always want to do is just check on my intervals on my X and Y axis. And it looks like it's going by ones again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So this one, check your translation. First, you want to write down your ordered pairs for your pre-image. What color is your pre-image on this one? The green, because your red is always your image. Once you've written those down, so you're going to write that in your notebook, then you're going to write your ordered pairs for your image. So you're going to write the ordered pairs for your pre-image and then your image. Go ahead and pause the video and get that done, and then we're going to check your work. All right, welcome back. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So here, I'm going to just click here. There is my pre-image. Did you get those ordered pairs there? Great. There's your ordered pairs here. And then here are my ordered pairs for my image. There we go. There's your ordered pairs for your image. Did you get those right? Awesome. 6 to 16, you're going to go through these answers, jot down, and I'll go over it. So independently, this is going to be your work for today. Write down your answers in your notebook. During our next session, I will make sure I give you the answers to your Desmos activity. Do want to show you one very quickly though. Please, 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 as always, pay attention. See this right here? So this is just a little hint. You see this little piece right here, and you're looking at it because it's not quite on a, at a point, or it's not at a point. It's not on the line, but it is. It's halfway, but it's just not a grid mark there. So again, we're going by twos, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. Then what's between 0 and -2? Yes, -1. So again, pay attention to your angles or your points. You want to pay attention to where they are, and then you want to pay attention to your intervals that's on your axis. So that's what you're going to be, and that's what you're going to do independently today. So once we're done, you're going to log into the system, and that's what you're going to do. Okay? So I think we can positively say that we have met our objective for today. And if we haven't, I'm sure we will by the time you finish that Desmos application. So you're in your final stretch. Don't forget to work on your dream box for about 10 to 15 minutes today. Our next session is going to be our problem of the week. We're going to do something very creative. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.